hello to the collective. If you can hear that in the background, it is a white noise maker. I have some people in the house and they are talking. Don't worry, this is just for the introduction. It is not for like the duration of the video. And if this is too distracting in editing, I will cut it out and I'll just put text on screen. But we'll see what happens. This is a little fun welcome back video that I wanted to make, pick a card style. And so we have 3 Pokemon, as you can see. We have the Snorlax. His corresponding crystal is a little piece of moonstone. Okay, Snorlax, always sleepy. The next for pile 2 is Ditto, mirroring to mask my neurodivergency. And we have K2 Jasper, is like the mini crystal associated with this Pokemon. And then we have Pikachu, and we have a piece of tumbled satellite. All of them are tumbled. I don't know why I said that. But you can choose one. You can choose multiple. What am I going to say? Keep in mind that this is a general reading. So take what resonates and leave the rest. I will see you on the other side. Okay, pile 1, if you chose the Snorlax, and this is your reading, I'm going to put them over here with your moonstone. Interestingly, I think I saw on an Instagram post a few weeks ago an astrological account associated each Pokemon with a particular astrological sign. And for Snorlax, that would be Taurus. So the sign of Taurus, or the time period of which Taurus season takes place, might hold some significance. I have some cards that I've pre-drawn, so we're just going to get into them. I'm going to lay them all out, and then we're going to talk about them. So we have Aries, the fire starter. And what was interesting when I drew that card, I don't know. I had the other 2. It's okay. They'll boomerang. They'll boomerang when they come. I literally just had them though. Hold on, let me take a sip. But what I was going to say was, with Aries, Sun was on the bottom of the deck, and then we had Taurus underneath it. And so I thought that was interesting. So there could be some connection between Aries and Taurus. We also have the Ace of Wands. And this is the fire sign element as well. So big fire sign energy taking place. We are currently late in Leo season, about to hit Virgo season. We have Copper, which ironically enough, this is representative of Venus. So you might have Venus in Aries, or Venus, like Taurus energy is coming through. We have the Eagle with mastery. The Eagle is connected to Scorpio, which is opposite of Taurus. And we have Fire Cider with 16. Dwell in the medicine that exists to protect the spirit. This 16 is associated with, like, I think the Tower card, Mars, we're doing a lot. I didn't think this through with the cards and the shapes. We'll have to make it fit. Hold on. Let me back up to accommodate. And then for our yoga pose, we have the eagle. So eagles might be significant to you in some way, shape, or form. We'll go through it all. Let's take it. I heard that, like that song, Fast Car. You've got a fast car. I'm being called to, like, protect your spirit, because Aries is the warrior, and with warriors come, their uniform. And this might not look like the traditional suit of armor, more applied in the sense of boundaries and holding our head high, especially when you get angry. With the Ace of Wands here, there's a message about transforming potential into bringing potential into the 3D, taking action upon an idea. The cherry blossoms make me think of spring, and the location of this photograph is Japan. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's an alarm clock going off. So the alarm clock might be like a wake-up call. Like, always sleepy is you might be putting others first and your dreams on the back burner, and Spirit is telling you to stop sleeping on your potential. Like, it's time to take action. It is time to make light of an opportunity that is being presented to you. The next fire sign season, I know we are currently in Leo, so the next fire season might be significant for you as well. That would be Sagittarius, which is late November. And with like the eagle is mastery, and then with this copper card we have 23, which reduces to 5. And so I see that like 5 as ironically the Hierophant in tarot, which is representative of Taurus. But the Hierophant is like a mentor. It can be a mentor in the process of learning about yourself. And so we have this mastery component. And so there could be a milestone that you're passing in the month of like November, December. This might be a conclusion. So for example, for me, December is like, I might be taking a few more classes for my grad program, but I'm taking 3 classes this fall semester. And then starting January, I start to see clients in practicum. And so that's a big shift, because we're talking about going from being in a class and learning to actually applying what you've learned and counseling with training wheels. And that is scary and intimidating, but it's also the next phase of the journey. You know what I'm saying? We can't be masters if we don't practice the art itself. So, but it says, let go of the past and soar. And so there might be something from the past that's holding you back. It could even be like a belief system that is keeping you down. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. You have so much to share that could have a positive impact on others. And that could also be what like the Snorlax is like, okay, I know like we love to sleep and we love to recharge, but also, another message is coming through. Like, rest is not seen as like lazy. Recharging is something that your brain and your body needs. And don't deny it. Because like, don't deny your body what it needs. This is also talking about like fermented foods. That could be significant. But also like taking action. Don't expect spirit to, make miracles happen for you, if you're not willing to also put in the work. You can't manifest without taking action. Like, scripting the life that you want is in part, something that you can do. Oh, my battery is going to die. See? We can't always be at 100%. I'm back. I found a new battery. I found the battery charger. So that's all great. Something that I've been getting insights though, like crazy. So with Aries is a masculine sign. In other words, Aries is very big on doing, whereas Taurus is more inherently feminine in the sense that it's receptive. There's a greater sense of balance of give and take. And that's something that I think might be why Aries and Taurus are both showing up so strongly. And with Scorpio here, Scorpio is opposite Taurus. Taurus, is about preserving and maximizing your individual assets, whereas Scorpio favors joint maximizing resources in a joint fashion. So this could be delegating or, holding space with yourself about what your limits are. With the Ace of Wands here, there is a sense of starting something, and it might be in full bloom come next spring, come Aries season 2026. I wanted to read the little page from the Alchemy Unknown about copper. It is on page 133. So that equates to 7. We also have 7 with fire cider. That's another cardinal sign. That's Cancer. So I don't know. Also, there's something coming through about the mother and the father. This could also be if it's not parenting related to parenting, which I'm not really getting that. I'm getting more reparenting your inner child. So, copper, fertility, the womb, Venus, all very copper, all very Taurian themes. In ancient times, on an island called Cyprus, copper was mined extensively to make vessels and tools. This island is the same fertile ground of Aphrodite, the goddess associated with the planet Venus and the forces of love, pleasure, and fertility. Such is the magic of copper. This golden-hued metal elicits delight and mystique, even a sense of awe. The copper card marks the arrival of arrows into the laboratory. It is likely the alchemist has been hard at work for too long, prioritizing scholarly pursuits over sensual pleasure. Get ready for a shift of priorities, for an awakening of the heart and the life-generating centers of the body. In the true alchemical experiment, nothing is excluded or separate from the work. Bring sensuality into the fold and embrace it with reverence and curiosity. Aphrodite smiles upon you. And sensuality is, an awareness about what you like to feel. Do you like to be hugged? Do you like to be touched? Like opening your heart to receiving stimuli that makes you feel good. Go deeper. Visit or learn about the Statue of Liberty, the largest copper sculpture in the world. To ponder, chocolate contains copper. In esoteric wisdom traditions, Venus and copper are associated with the kidneys. A letting go is likely required in order to embrace arrows with open arms. Though bright and warm when polished, copper quickly oxidates, turning green or blue. Discern if a metaphorical polishing up is in order. And I'm getting themes from The Life of a Showgirl, which is Taylor's 12th album. That album might have particular resonance with you. I wanted to get into, I'm sorry for all the book magic, but that's just what what we do on this channel. The pocket guide to spirit animals. I'm just going to read the eagle. Okay. There's an opportunity for you that you're considering, and it would be best if you take advantage of it soon. There will be a new beginning in a positive direction following a recent period of strife, one in which you've gained a great deal of stamina and resilience. Detach and rise above the mundane so that you're able to see your life and circumstances with a broader perspective and greater vision. It's time for a great spiritual awakening, one where you experience a greater connection to the divine. This is an important time to communicate with the divine, your spirit guides, God, the universe, what have you, for creative inspiration. So heed any guidance that you receive. Whatever you put out, positive or negative, will return to you in some form more quickly than ever. Specifically for the bald eagle, you have an increasing ability to walk between the material world and that of spirit. Dive into your inner depths, paying close attention to any visions or inspirations that arise. And I'm going to put this here. But the month of October might be particularly significant. Maybe October 1st. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. And then the eagle pose, it is activating this root chakra through the connection that the soles of our foot have to our mats. It's also sparking up the third eye chakra and receiving downloads, and also the sacral chakra, which is associated with sexuality and creativity. How we show up for ourselves, how we give ourselves grace and compassion. Taking the necessary making necessary preparations so that you feel a greater sense of confidence in the future, wherever this is going. I'm just going to read the Firesider card. The 16th might be significant. The 23rd might be significant. The 1st, the 10th. Yeah. Preparation, building immunity, strengthening the spirit. Those are all keywords associated with this card. Ooh, I got chills. 66 it is on, and so 66 is an angel number, but also that makes me think of 12 in December. I know that I'm giving very generalized information, but this is a collective reading. I do have private readings on my Etsy if you're interested. However, I digress. Your higher self chose this card because Firesider wishes to tell you something that may be difficult to understand, which is that manifestation isn't magic. What manifestation does is make space for your preparation to be useful. The universe expands your possibilities, moves things around so that you're in the right place at the right time, and offers a helpline when you're facing obstacles. Even so, you wouldn't go to a job interview without being prepared to explain why you're the right person for the job, or go to the store without any money. This card reminds you not to go to spirit asking for miracles to be made on your behalf if you aren't ready to make a phone call, save a little extra, or at least make a plan. In truth, manifestation can feel like magic, but so few of us are armed with the tools needed to manifest anything meaningful. There are too many fears most of us don't know how to face, too many thought distortions many of us aren't even aware of, let alone be able to bust, and too much that is overwhelming about the big life goals that can seem impossible to achieve. This is why the universe will send you challenges that are meant to build your spiritual immunity. They make you stronger, wiser, and more prepared to manifest in a way that truly does feel like magic. With time and your willingness to prepare for greatness, you will experience a life that is deliberate rather than happening by the whims of a cosmic energy. That's not to say that the universe isn't real or that you won't have divine help along the way, but it's a lot easier for the universe to back you up when it knows you're prepared to take the leap when it calls. And there is a recipe here for fire cider for the soul, and I will leave that here. Okay. October 16th. That just came to me. October 16th. Okay. I don't know. I felt suddenly drawn to the birthday book, so let's go to it. Let me know if your birthday is October 16th, or maybe it's somebody significant to you has the birthday October 16th. You are energetic and vigorous and have determination. You acknowledge defeat only when you have exhausted all your resources. You are kindly and sympathetic. Your temper is not easily aroused, and you are quick to forgive. You will always be happy and contented. Sometimes I find that they're a little too simplistic, and I think that someone with October 16th energy has happiness surrounded by them all the time, even if they might not necessarily feel that way. Okay. So with that being said, let's turn to our angel number book, and then we're going to get into some tarot. Just going to do, and then a couple oracle cards before I send you on your merry way. Okay, so we're going to get into the angel number book before I send you on your merry way. Actually, we'll do angel numbers, astro dice, and then the cauldron of fortune. That's how we'll end things today. So we have, I'm going to say 66 first because that's what I'm remembering first, and we'll go from there. I accept the generous blessings of love and abundance in my life with gratitude, joyful that I have more to share with others. Very scorpionic. I love that. Okay. Next, we had 133. I ask for divine guidance and receive answers to my prayers. I'm going to do 1. I choose to take steps that align with me, I choose to take steps that align me with my higher self. Beautiful, beautiful. We have 23. Actually, we had 16. My actions are wisest when they are in harmony with my heart. My actions are wisest when they are in harmony with my heart. 23. Together we generate the energy and inspiration to create positive resources which benefit the collective. That's amazing. You guys are healers at heart. Healers at heart. I can feel that. And I think that's it. Seven kind of came up a few times, so I'll read that one as well. I trust myself. So stop sleeping on your potential. Stop letting other people walk all over you because you deserve better. All right, let's get some astro dice. We have Uranus, time for change. Leo, changing how you express yourself. And 11, a change in your friendships. A change in how you see the world. Changing your beliefs and your philosophies. The 11th house is also associated with our hopes and dreams and our long-term future. And so you might be shifting that a bit too. There's also expressing yourself on technology, like putting yourself out there, whether that be like on dating apps or social media if you're thinking about starting a business. Leo and Aquarius energy are coming through, and there are sister signs as well. Changing how you come off to the world, changing how you express yourself. Like that could be through fashion. Like you could be changing up your style. You could be going viral. Like your post could be going viral on social media. You might be connecting with others in a different way, in a deeper way. Nurturing friendships and relationships that mean the most to you. Okay, so this is kind of our lightning round. We have, by helping someone today, you may also be helping yourself. Message of compassion. Maybe that book, Compassion by Kristen, I don't know if it's Kristen Neff or Kirsten Neff. This is a quote from Gabrielle D'Annunzio. No dream of mine will ever erase a dream of my heart. No dream of my mind will ever erase a dream of my heart. Follow your heart. So just break. Let's see what else. Your smile lights up a room. Yes, it does. You might be getting a lot of compliments. Worry not that no one knows of you. Seek to be worth knowing. Seek to be worth knowing. And our last one comes from a tea bag. We're a matcha made in heaven. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. You know, that makes me think, like, something that me and my partner do. He says, I'll say, like, I love you so matcha, and he says, I love you so boba. So maybe something like you guys do something like that. I don't know. But maybe this is meeting your match. Maybe this is you finding love and celebrating and embracing that. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. Okay, all right. I am going to call it here, but I wish you all the best. And I will see you in a video soon. Ciao, ciao for now. Pile 2, if you chose Ditto. Mirroring to mask my neurodiversity. Alongside the K2 Jasper. This is going to be your reading. I'm going to put them right here. And we're going to get into our cards. So I have pre-drawn some cards. I'm going to lay them down and we're going to get into it. So the first is the Cat Spirit, calling for independence. Oh, before I get into this, I saw on a post a couple weeks ago, kind of inspired me to do this reading, but they linked different Pokemons to different astrological signs, and yours for Ditto is Gemini. And so Gemini is one of the signs ruled by the planet Mercury, so very chatty, very curious about the world, however, also very adaptable. And to a degree, unpredictable. So that's Gemini might be a sign that is prominent within your chart or within someone else's, or Gemini season, or the themes of Gemini as a sign might be specifically pertinent. And I love this guidebook from the Numinous. I'm just going to read the Gemini section real quick. I'm not even going to read the section. I'm just going to read like the keywords and the descriptions. So we have inquisitive, dual, agile, talkative, prismatic, easily distracted, many-sided, scattered, gossipy, spontaneous, quick-witted, storytelling, nervous, cunning, and fickle. Quality is the mutable, air element. I mentioned Mercury. The third house is symbolic of this sign. The symbol is the twins. The body part is the hands. The color is rainbow. The metal, Mercury. Gemstone, agate. City is Tokyo. Scent, youthful, curious, exploratory. Honeysuckle, tutti frutti. City streets after a thunderstorm. Style, street smart, androgyny. High tops, backpacks, iridescence, and fitted blazers. And the tarot card is the Lovers, which points to our dual nature, but also the autonomy to make our own choices. I digress. Cats can sometimes have different personalities too. You are a natural leader. your intuition is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd. Oh my God, that's scary. Life supports you in every way. And I say scary because we literally have against nature or going against the grain. And this card is 56, which reduces to 11, the 11th house. Maybe Gemini is in your 11th house, which would make you a Leo rising. Going against the grain. You can't force an outcome. And maybe you've been trying to. But like you, I think, embody a unique perspective about the world. Let's see what February 1st might be significant. Again, that might apply to one person. This is a collective reading. Take the rest. Yeah, this is about forcing outcomes. Willfulness to force or control. On some level, we all know that we are going against nature. We recognize it in feelings of impatience and agitation that arise when trying to force certain outcomes. This card arrives to remind the alchemists that they cannot control the uncontrollable. Nature has its way enveloping us in a wild narrative that we can collaborate in, but not necessarily dictate. No matter our efforts to manage every aspect of our lives, the mess ensues. Spring is soggy. The lotus requires mud. People do what they do. This card heeds a warning not to fight the flow of Mother Nature or of destiny. Once we loosen the grip of what we think life should look like, a whole new realm of possibilities awakens. Now is the time to be radically open to what nature has in store for you. And something to ponder with this card is what we resist persists. And going deeper, watch the Talking Heads music video, Nothing But Flowers. And something to consider, think of this card as trying to force a square peg into a round hole. There's likely a solution waiting for you to see it. Shake things up, dance, tell a joke, take a break. Kind of like take life less seriously. And that's very Geminian. I don't even know if that's a word. We made it up, but we're here. Shut the front door. We've got the perception card, the third house, how we're seeing reality. These are some key words. Maybe unplugging from social media, from our devices, or even just to take a break from the news. I know that can be very stressful for some of us. We have dating. So putting yourself out there. And with that kind of comes managing our expectations, because we can't control everybody else's narrative. Especially if you're looking for a specific type of person, it might deter you from someone who's right under your nose. We also have the Eight of Wands as our tarot card, and the Eight of Wands is Mercury in Sagittarius. If you have Sagittarius in your third house, you're most likely a Libra rising. The Eight of Wands talks about talking and conversations about our big ideas, but also the Eight of Wands card itself is about fast moving progress. And I think when you learn to let go, you're going to see all of the dominoes are falling into place. That's what I'm hearing Spirit say. Getting clear on your vision so you have more of a focus, more mental space to devote to, where you're going, where you're taking your, where your higher self is wanting you to look. You can see it. We have Darkness Falls with number 12. Within you live the hidden, the things that want nothing more than to swallow you whole. These might be memories of the past, and you might be perceiving yourself with a very critical lens. and therefore you might not be seeing the situation in its entirety. And so spirit might be wanting you to step back to see the bigger picture, slowing down. I'm going to read the description from the book. Keywords include facing your demons, acknowledging faults, and self-compassion. There's actually a whole book about self-compassion I actually recommended to the last group, and I'll recommend it to this group. It's by Dr. I think it's Kristen, not Kirsten, Neff. And I think it might be helpful. Your higher self chose this card because you have faults and have made mistakes. It's true that some mistakes are more costly than others, but no one lives a perfect life by any means. When you've made a misstep or when your faults put you in a sticky situation, defense mode can feel like a natural response. The wound from feeling less than has likely already triggered self-criticism, doubt, and even anger, and then to also bear the weight of someone else's disappointment, pain, anger, or criticism can feel like too much to carry. Before you know it, darkness has fallen and you're operating from a shadowy place rather than standing in your light and giving yourself some grace. You have pulled darkness falls because you're experiencing your situation from a dark place and reacting defensively. Every story has two sides, very Geminian, and it may be time to consider whether you or not you also share some blame in your current circumstances. This card does not guide you to view yourself in a negative light, but to act as a neutral bystander who is merely curious and observant. How might you advise a friend who is experiencing similar circumstances? Would you guide them to calm down and take deep breaths, explain to them how they might be wrong in the situation, or even say sorry? You might find clarity and the answers needed for a positive resolution once you observe your circumstances from the outside rather than from deep inside your shadow. Perhaps you will discover you were right all along, or maybe you'll be forced to acknowledge your own faults. As C.S. Lewis said, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. I love that. Oh my gosh. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And the 12th house governs your the 12th house governs your innermost thoughts, your private self. So some of you could even be Cancer rising. You don't have to be. The color black is coming through, and as I said, that 1111. So like you're protecting your energy, you're protecting your manifestation. Mirror magic might be something worth considering too, like looking in the mirror and talking to your inner child, talking to your reflection with a more compassionate lens. Let's see. There was also something about the hero pose, and in my book, I have a book about like yoga poses that you can do during different astrological seasons, and this one takes place during Aquarius and Pisces season, so the winter. So this is what hero pose looks like. You can do it reclined, and you can sustain, it says, hero pose for a longer and more comfortable duration by placing a block or two between your ankles and beneath the base of the coccyx or tailbone as the knee joints are stabilized and the quadriceps are stretched. As the Pisces ruled feet receive a gentle stretch in plantar flexion, your spine can be held upright for the support of your base. And it says, draw your attention to your third eye or your ajna center and envision the crown of your head. I don't feel confident to try to pronounce that one. Opening to higher consciousness, blossoming like a 1,000-petaled lotus. Hero pose can ground the subtle energetic body to stabilize the root chakra and is an appropriate place for connecting to your inner world, which I think ties in so nicely. And this person is looking at this with like a greater sense of self-compassion. This particular entry in the grand scheme of things also talks about contemplative inquiry, and this can be done through meditation to help us uncover our true selves, diving into deeper states of higher consciousness beyond words and thoughts, to the illumination of universal intelligence. So that's what this, I read an excerpt. I do think that meditation might be helpful for you to kind of observe the bigger picture in greater light. And independent, like, you have a lot to offer the world. You don't have to go with the crowd. You don't have to compare yourself or make others feel small to lift yourself up. It says life supports you in every way. And even if you've been like on a detour, even if you've had your own personal struggles, like everybody has, number one. But number two, it's like we're on our own timeline. We're creating our lives step by step as the universe is guiding us. And so being honest, I think, with ourselves about what we've been through, not seeing it through the lens of like, you could have done better, or like, why didn't you do this at this time because you'd be in a much better, putting ourselves down is not necessarily the most effective way of, picking ourselves up. And how you perceive yourself matters. And Spirit literally wants like you to try to give yourself the biggest hug. Like, I think that you give so much to other people, but you don't give yourself credit where credit is due all the time, or you minimize your accomplishments because it's like on to the next thing. I did want to read the cat in our little animal book. And these are general messages, so I say, like, take what resonates and leave the rest. This is a period where self-sufficiency and trust in your own capabilities is necessary. Honor your sensuality by dancing slowly with graceful and easy movements, and by enjoying touch and physical intimacy. Listen closely to your intuitive guidance, as it's likely an ancestor who is one of your spirit guides trying to communicate with you. This is a period of magic and mystery for you, so pay close attention to signs and omens that will guide and direct you. Whatever you've released, relationships, material goods, self-defeating habits, will soon be replaced with something or someone entirely more suitable for who you are presently. And being your own hero, like, that's what your higher self is acting as your hero. I'm getting like 13 and 14. 13 is like shedding, and 14, so like the death card is 13. Temperance is like alchemizing our pain. That's 14. I think that, like, I don't know why that those are coming through so strongly. I'm going to get 13 and 14. I guess since we're on that train, I can start with 12. Technically, 8 is I take complete responsibility for myself, and in doing so, find the freedom I live as I choose. So taking responsibility for yourself, that's a big step. And then we have 12, I open my heart to new connections, partnerships, and ways of relating that honor individuality and mutuality. 13, I reach out playfully, creatively, and authentically to engage with new communities. And 14, I ground my plans and visions into reality with conscious action. We also had 3, I create and attract positive energy. And we had 56. I trust in love's unpredictable healing journey. And I think that's the key word, is unpredictable, because we can't always choose like where spirit is going to take us. Sometimes we're like, what the front door just happened? As I said, that 1818, and that's like the moon card, right? The mysteries of the universe. Let's get some astro cards, or I'm sorry, astro dice. Seeing it from both sides of the situation. Wow, Scorpio, a Scorpio Mars in the 8th house. This is taking action in like the undoing, like unthreading, like the secrets of the past, like really digging deep into your shadow self. There's deep inner work and healing here that you are doing. There's also like acting covertly or like being secretive. When you want something, you go to any bounds or any lengths to get it, and you're very like, you can be sneaky about it. There's this era of mystery around you that people like can't help but be fascinated with. Your presence honestly is cat-like. Ooh, the 6th. So hold on. You know, you show up and then it's like when you're done, you're done. Now it just flipped to the 6th house. And so like creating a very cohesive emotional environment where you feel like you're part of something authentic helps you express yourself more genuinely. Okay, in a more genuine way. I don't know if I said that grammatically correct. Let me get the Cauldron of Fortune, and I will send you on your merry way. When I heard like darkness falls, like the power of the new moon, you might be setting intentions to work on the shadow work. And the new moon in Virgo is like the 22nd. However, it is void, of course, so I wouldn't start anything until like a day after. You can do it up to 3 days after. We have this quote: "The only joy in the world is to begin. It is good to live, because to live is to begin. Always, every moment." That's by Cesare Pavese. Cesar Pavese. Anyways, so to begin something, to start something new. Traditions are like the glue, and so set like new traditions with your friends is especially important. Do not mistake temptation for opportunity. Do not mistake temptation for opportunity. We also have beauty, and it's in its various forms appeals to you, and it's interesting. So we have sun as the Chinese word, so you might be expecting a sun. I don't know. That might apply to like literally one of you. Seek pursuits that fully use your talents. And finally, a good time to start something new. And the Chinese word is language. So maybe it involves learning another language or even traveling to another country. Scorpio is affiliated with the city New Orleans. Okay. It's also the Phoenix, and it's Pluto and Mars. Interesting. You could also be, others in your environment might be jealous of you. I would protect your energy. Symbolized by the Phoenix, Scorpio must excavate the psychological and emotional depths to plant the seeds of new growth. Scorpio survives the seasons of life by burning it all the way down to smoke and ash and discovering the glittering gemstones that are always buried amid the decay. All right, I'm going to get timed out, so I will see you in a video soon. Ciao, ciao for now. All right, pile 3. It's you and me. What's up? Okay, I can't tell you how much energy I got while I was dealing your cards. So for your Pokemon, you have the Pikachu. What you see on the left is the Pikachu that we all see. And on the right is how I feel, and it's just emotionally drained. We got these stickers, I believe, at a local Pride, and I unfortunately do not know the artist. These, like, my partner went and procured the stickers. He got me like a spare one of these, but these are all his, and I'm just borrowing them for the sake of the video. So if anybody knows, or if I'm able to track them down, I will leave them linked, because I want to give credit where credit is due. But you might be like on full, like on 100. Your mind might be on 100, but your body is in need of like deep rest and rejuvenation. And I will put your satellite crystal over here. And I think the satellite is just, you know, an inspiration of like being honest with ourselves and what we're actually like feeling up to. Okay. So with that being said, I have your cards, and this is going to be quite the journey. So buckle up. We have Orca with adventure. If you can hear, I think it's raining outside, but I thought this was like the perfect time. Dare to do things differently, sing your wild song, manifest your travel dreams. Some of you are like going places. I think some of you in this pile haven't traveled nearly as much as you would like to, or at least have done the type of traveling that you want to do. Attempt the great journey with confidence. Be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Oh my gosh. A part of me gets the feeling, though, based on this Pikachu and that statement, that you put up walls when you're vulnerable, some of you, to protect them because you don't want to put your burden on someone else's plate. And that's not inherently, you know, what we do when we're vulnerable. We build connection, and yes. Be loyal. Oh, I said that already. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. Oh my gosh. What a liberating message. Okay. Orcas are matriarchal societies. So, you know, I don't know, I'm getting like a female-led group practice of some sort. You're not afraid to make a splash, okay? Dare to do things differently. That is spirit coming through. We have goddess pose, how you're stretching yourself. This is giving sacral chakra. This is giving I deserve, okay? I think I have this book, okay? It's called Yoga for Emotional Trauma, and I believe goddess pose. Yes, it is associated with the second chakra, the sacral chakra. The purpose is to let yourself move, experience vitality, and enjoy being in your body. The associated mantra here is I am alive. Begin by reading or chanting I am alive, I am a goddess. Intention is to slowly flow through these poses in an enjoyable way. Okay, so this is the exercise breakdown. It is on page 99, so repeating nines might be significant. And then we also have standing hip circles, and what is this? A forward fold. And then a forward fold bend. So those are poses to, like, it helps release, the built up trauma that we have in ourselves. The goddess is also about like lengthening your spine and strengthening your core and really connecting to the earth. Very stimulating. Okay. And maybe going to yoga actually might be something that you're interested in. We also have Venus with the theme of love and the roses here. I love that. Beauty, harmony, romance, charm, receiving, sensuality, luxury, wealth, diplomacy, magnetism, value, pleasure, adornment, adoration, attraction, indulgence, taste, and style. Very much like Sabrina Carpenter energy. But with Venus and love, I see this as seeing yourself as inherently valuable, doing what you love, loving yourself to the point where you do give yourself rest and time. We have foraging with 17, and I think of the star, and I just think of like a hopeful future. Hope is on the horizon. There is no better feeling than having gone after what you desire, going after what you want, following your passion, or like letting your passion guide you. And we also have the 10 of coins, so there is stability in your future. Wherever you are now, you are going to get to a point where your bills are on auto pay and you can go travel wherever you want. You can plan a vacation. Maybe you're meant to be like a nomad. Maybe you're meant to be something that you never thought was in the cards for you, but it is. Like the 10 of coins is fulfilling your long-term goals, your happily ever after. And as I'm saying this, my battery is about to die, so I'm gonna go get another one. I was thinking too how this could even be like, if you don't get quality sleep, if you're not able to get quality sleep over a long period of time, you're operating with like half battery every day instead of a completely, we're at 100 energy. We're moving our bodies, we're doing all the work. But like, if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't show up fully for the things and the people that you love in your life. Okay. And then we have iron, which is associated with Aries. We have Mars here. And so there is a lot of doing. And maybe you were also drawn to pile 1 because there was elements of Taurus energy in Aries and the whole give and take. And, but there's also a message here that there is going to be an opportunity for you strike while the iron is hot. Okay. I wanted to read we're going to kind of go through all the cards a little bit deeper. So I'm going to read the Orca message from the animal book, and I just want you to take what resonates, leave the rest for the collective. Okay. And we have, let's see, it's in whale section, but I'm sorry. It's in the whale section because killer whale, right? But, it's the orcas are actually the top of the dolphin chain. So they're actually dolphins. Solicit the cooperation of friends and family to support you in pursuit of a goal that you're targeting. You can be confident that you're well protected, so there's no need to fear anything or anyone at this time. You'll find yourself being more cued into others who belong to your social group. So trust your intuition with those you know and those you meet in the next few weeks to see who belongs. Pay extra attention to the subtleties of communication, such as body language and especially vocal inflections, even more so than words. Nonverbal communication makes up 70%. Like the 30% is verbal. And so taking in the whole message is really important. It's time to fearlessly take your creative pursuits out of the box and bring them into the public eye without concern for criticism or rejection. And literally, it's 283. So February 1983 or 13 has some special significance. We all know 13 is also like the life of a showgirl. I'm a Swiftie. I can't help it. But we also have 22. 22. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. 22 is an angel number. We'll just read some affirmations really quick, okay? Some numerological, because I feel like I like to insert them organically instead of at the end, because then sometimes I forget numbers. So we had 22. I co-create through sacred partnerships based on mutual enhancement, affinity, and trust. I'm going to repeat that. I co-create through sacred partnerships based on mutual enhancement, affinity, and trust. Okay, so partnerships, collaboration is in your corner. Okay? Collaboration is in your corner. We also have we had 10 technically. 10 is also the completion of a chapter. The universe blesses a new venture, project, or chapter in my life. A new chapter is starting for you. Seeing yourself as worthy of having success, of having good friends. Maybe you're changing your social circles, okay? You're expanding your friendships. They always say your vibe is your, I don't like to say tribe because I don't like to culturally appropriate, but your vibe is a product of the community that you surround yourself with, right? And so you tend to adopt mannerisms and belief systems and rhetoric based on the top 5 people you spend the most time with. So think about that. Just think about that. Okay, we had 22. We read 10. Oh, and 17. Oh, and then 283. 17, I honor my intuition by acting on its guidance. So learning to trust yourself. Yeah, 283. I effortlessly attract and recognize my soul community according to divine grace and timing. Wow. That's literally what I just said. Okay. And that could be like the 10 of coins. Like you have a wealth, like the wealth doesn't come from material possessions. Although if that's something that you're manifesting, by all means, but I do think that like these represent like your loved ones, and like your loved ones are in your corner. And as you can see, there's a grandma, and like, I don't know. I think your family story is very beautiful. It has some very beautiful people in it. And like, this could even be your soul created family, your chosen family. Finding the people that make you feel most alive, that inspire you to be your most genuine, authentic self. I want to read the foraging card. I know we're not like officially in fall yet, but I can't help it. I love this deck, so I wanted to get some use out of it. Keywords: authenticity, hidden talents, acting upon your uniqueness, effort. Your higher self chose this card because sometimes you need to go out looking for food even though the grocery store is just down the road. Although the store is convenient, your life dish may require an ingredient the store can't offer, or perhaps your soul is seeking a more authentic flavor experience that is unique to you. The foraging card has found you because it's time to get up, go out into the world, and discover all that's waiting for you to pick up and put inside your basket. It's tempting to take the easier road, but that path is crowded with hordes of people attempting to do the same. They look the same, do the same things, and ultimately are lost in a sea of conformity and ordinariness, nothing that stands out from the crowd. By taking the road less traveled, you could stumble upon an undiscovered patch of greatness. What makes you unconventional, strange, or completely different? You might not think being eccentric is a strength, but your quirks are what set you apart from everyone else. Receiving this card is an opportunity to discover and embrace your hidden talents and act on them. Perhaps you feel like you have nothing special to offer, but you most certainly do. Truffles are one of the world's most coveted and expensive foods, yet they are notoriously difficult to find. They are always at the base of a tree and generally buried below the soil, hidden from the naked eye. What makes you unique is just the same, and you may need to dig deeper. It may require significant effort, but what you'll discover will be worth its weight in gold. There's that song, I think it's Carry My Weight in Gold. There might be some subliminal lyrics in there. And then we also have the story of iron. Maybe you're iron deficient, okay? So maybe your body needs iron. That is a very specific message. I don't want you to go assume if you are concerned and like you've been concerned and then I say iron, maybe that's a sign to go to like a doctor, okay? Don't just like say, oh, I have low iron, okay? Get that stuff checked out. I love you though. Okay, let's see. I don't know if I said iron is ruled by Aries. Aries season might be significant. March 22nd might be significant for you. I don't know. Okay, hold on. 22. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Everything will be all right. Okay. Magnetism, reliability, Mars. Iron is a reliable metal that can withstand great pressure. Over the centuries, we have come to utilize the metal extensively, mixing it with the carbon to create the steel bridges, highways, and infrastructures that span across the globe. In alchemy, iron is associated with the planet Mars and shares its qualities of being strong, assertive, and potentially warlike. When the iron card appears, there is a call to rely only upon the reliable. What truly supports you? What have you already built? Iron dwells at the center of the earth, so when all else feels lost, go inward. There is a deep magnet there that pulls you toward what is steady and true. For the moment, put your words and weapons down and let yourself be held by the structure that is already in place. Go deeper. Read about the warrior Ogun, known as the god of iron in African mythology. To ponder, iron is in our bloodstream. Watch for planetary pairings between all the metals and planet cards. Okay. Iron and Mars appearing in one reading indicate a great conflict looms. Okay, and maybe that's an internal conflict with yourself. In esoteric wisdom traditions, Mars and iron are associated with the gallbladder. It may be time to contemplate what can be broken down and what must remain. Okay. We have 131. I noticed mirroring numbers. So 131, that's January 31st. That might be significant. But also like 17 was on page 71. So 17, 71, the number 8 and the number 5. 5 deals with change and freedom. I'll read 131 and I'll read 71, I'm sorry. 71, at all times my inner knowing inspires me to take the most favorable course of action. And then 131. The time 131 might be significant as well. You might get like an important message or a text at 131. My desired reality evolves as I work on myself. Okay. I concur with that statement. So taking action on things that you love, things that you're passionate about, and that's like also willing to take risks. But if you don't believe that you fundamentally deserve what you want, there is going to be a greater stretch of time getting there. And I say this because like for me, this is related to my body and my weight release journey. But like I was on a birth control for a period of, I think, 8 months, and it might have even been 10 months. I don't remember, but it was a significant amount of time. And this birth control, I perceived like to really mess up my system. I'm not going to say what it was because I know for some people this birth control, this form particularly, can work. But for me, it did not. It left me foggy, and I put on a lot of weight, and I felt really uncomfortable within myself. And it took me, when I got it out in December of 2021, I just assumed that my body would release it, pretty fast after that. That did not happen. And it was to the point where I would work out for stretches of time and then I would give up. And I would get really frustrated with myself. And it was even to the point where I started to believe that maybe this was a punishment for something. And I was just going to have to live with myself in this body that I was not comfortable with. And last year in 2024, I am going to be talking about weight. So if that's a trigger for you, I will put in the timestamp to go next. But I was 167. And as someone who's 5'3", that's the biggest that I have ever been. And I honestly just did not feel like myself anymore. I didn't like going out in public. I didn't like taking pictures. I was very upset. And I made a commitment that I wasn't going to continue to let myself go down this path. And I really started working on my fitness, working on my diet. I started running, which I never thought I would say, but I am here to say it is about 1 year later. I am 138.8. And, Sienna from 10 years ago would be oh my gosh, I would still be shaming myself for being what I am. I'm not done yet on my weight release journey, but it feels good to know that I made a really big difference within a year. But it didn't take me 1 year. It took a lot of internal work. And so manifestation is not always a linear path. I'm just letting you know, but it's not an impossible one. Okay? It's not an impossible one. I really had to learn self-compassion, because I was holding on to a lot. So I digress. That was a long-winded story, but it's just to say, like, don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up, because that's not going to make the manifestation come any faster. Let's get some tea leaf oracle cards. Just for some messages. I might actually get one more deck. So any additional clarity. But there is power in pursuing what you want. Oh my gosh, that is so weird, because I saw this card and I shuffled the deck and everything. This is Teapot. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. You might be reuniting with someone from your past, someone who you've had, or you've just this friend has always had your back. You're going to spill some tea together. And when I say spill tea, I don't necessarily mean gossip. I just mean catch up, the table, hard work ahead. So there is some work that you're going to have to put in. But again, it's not impossible. It will, however, probably stretch you out of your comfort zone. Yeah, we have broken bridge, which you might be at right now, an unsuccessful outcome to a problem. And so you're kind of what do I do? Allow others to support you. We have Ram, a stubborn aggressive. This is an Aries. Either you have Aries in your chart or somebody else does. But the Aries is capable of hard work. See, we have Vase, secret admirer. Okay. And the clouds. This is a temporary problem. So this broken bridge, maybe it was meant to be broken. Maybe there's a detour that is going to lead you to greater possibilities, okay? All right. We have the 10th house, Aquarius, and the moon. Ooh, moon in Aquarius. I know, at least 2 people with that placement, 3 people actually in like my personal circle. But like interacting with others, like there's a sense of humanitarianism to your career. You need to feel like you're making a difference. You can be emotionally distant, and you might avoid your feelings by like through your work. But there's also this sense of like futurism. So something with technology. You really put your heart and soul into collaborations with other people and like group networks. So there's that. Let's pull from the Cauldron of Fortune, and then I have one more deck, and then I will send you on your merry way. Ooh, that's a lot. I'll take those. Okay, we'll do these. So we have Seek Pursuits that use your full talents. Another group got that one. The only joy in the world is to begin. It is good to live, because to live is to begin always and every moment, by Cesare Pavese. We have May the Rainbow Always Touch Your Shoulder, and the Chinese word is peach. So peaches might be significant. Georgia might be significant. I don't know. The only joy... Oh, I read that one. Sorry. We have... If you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down. That is a proverb by Buddha. We have 3 more. Use your head to live with heart. Learn from the mess and don't stress. And finally, be willing to assert yourself in situations of great importance. I'm hearing like a persona. Your persona that you project at work might be very different from who you are in real life. And like you can be sometimes honest to a fault. You like being part of a team. You love like standing in solidarity with others. Like you're a warrior of justice. And you advocate for the underdog. Okay. We have 4 messages from this Wisdom Within deck. The universe will never let you fail. I should have been what? Unconditional love. Would you love them if they didn't love you anymore? And do you know when to leave? There's a song by Taylor Swift, like It's Time to Go. Listen to that one. 2028 might be significant. All right, that's all I have for you, Pile 3. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in a video soon. Ciao, ciao for now.